Salve. In this video, we're going to continue learning about the genitive case. We already learned that the genitive is primarily used for possession and that we can usually deal with it by adding either an apostrophe s or the word of. Now we're going to learn about some of the other uses of the genitive. Now, much of the time you'll still be able to translate them by adding the word of, but these other uses are definitely not possessives. The first one we're going to talk about is the partitive genitive. This deals with, as the name would imply, parts of a whole, amounts, quantities, things of that nature. Some of the time we'll be able to add of to translate this, and sometimes we won't need to add anything actually. So here's a list of words that often show up with partitive genitives. Aliquid means some or any, or it can also mean something. Copia means a lot or a large amount. Copious is a derivative there, or cornucopia. Multitudo is basically a cognate. It means a crowd or a multitude. Nihil means nothing, none, or no. Annihilate and nihilism are derivatives of that. Numerus means a number. Pars means part. Plus, pretty obviously, means more, and minus means less. Satis means enough, and we get satisfy or insatiable as derivatives of that. Okay, so let's see some examples of the partitive genitive using these words. First example, satis cibi est. Again, satis means enough. Cibi is the genitive, which tells us what we have enough of. Now, est means he, she, or it is, but remember that it can also mean there is, which is going to work really well here. So this sentence means there is enough food. Okay, next example. Multitudo agricolarum laborat. Multitudo means crowd. Agricolarum indicates what we have a crowd of, in this case farmers. So the sentence means the crowd of farmers is working. Okay, next example. Copiam pecuniae habeo. Copiam means a lot, and it's accusative here because it's the direct object of the verb habeo. So this means I have a lot of money. So for all the examples so far, we've been able to add the word of, and we've therefore been able to deal with the genitive fairly easily. But as I said before, sometimes you won't have to add anything. So let's keep this sort of example, but change it to nihil pecuniae habeo. Again, nihil means nothing, no, or none. So the best way to translate this would be, I have no money. In English, we might be more likely to say, I don't have any money, but that's the same thing. Okay, next. Plus pecuniae habeo. Plus means more, so this is I have more money. And in case you're wondering why I didn't make the word plus accusative here, since it is obviously the direct object, it's what I have, the answer is I actually did. Plus is a neuter form, and it's one that we haven't covered yet. And for all neuter forms, the accusative will be the same as the nominative. So plus is an accusative form. Sometimes one of these partitive words, particularly aliquid and nihil, might be combined with an adjective. These aren't really amounts per se, so it's only debatably a partitive genitive, but it's still pretty easy to translate. So you might have something like aliquid boni, which would be translated something good. Or you could see the phrase nihil novi, which would mean nothing new. All right, that's enough for the partitive genitive. Now we'll talk about the objective genitive. This occurs when we have a noun that implies some sort of action, and the genitive tells you what the object of that action is. So, for example, we have the phrase causa belli. This means the cause of the war. This isn't hard to deal with because you can still just add of, but this isn't a clear example of possession like when we said the boy's friend in the previous video, because a war is a concept and it can't really possess anything. And just in case you want to argue that this is a possessive, look at this next example. Regina magnum amorem patriae abet. Amorem is the accusative form of the noun meaning love. So this sentence could be translated, the queen has a great love of her country. This is definitely an objective genitive because the country is the object of the love. It's not possessive because the love belongs to the queen, not the country. The love is directed at the country. It's the object, therefore this is an objective genitive. Okay, another example. Magnum timorem arenarum habeo. This means I have a big fear of spiders. Again, this is an objective genitive because the fear doesn't belong to the spiders, it belongs to me. The spiders are the object of the fear. Okay. Another use of the genitive case is the genitive of description. As the name would imply, it's used to describe someone or something. Sometimes you'll see it called the genitive of quality or the genitive of characteristic, but they're all effectively the same thing, so call it whatever you want. These are fairly easy because you can virtually always translate them by just adding the word of, and you get something like this. Femina magnae potentiae. Potentiae is the genitive noun there, so we'll add the word of there, and we get a woman of great power. Okay, next example. Res periculi magni. The word res is actually a fifth declension noun, so we obviously haven't learned it yet, and it means situation. Periculi is the genitive here, so this means a situation of great danger. And one more example. Vir bonae famae. Famae is the genitive here, so this means a man of good reputation. Okay, the last thing we'll discuss here is genitives combined with adjectives. There are certain adjectives that will be followed by a genitive. Here's one example. Ludus plenus discipulorum est. Plenus is the adjective here, describes ludus, and plenus means full, as in plentiful or plenty. So this is a fairly easy one because we can just deal with discipulorum the same way that we've dealt with other genitives by adding the word of. So when we add of, we get the school is full of students. Okay, another example. Vir est cupidus auri. Cupidus means desirous. It's related to the name Cupid, as in the god. And this sentence means the man is desirous of gold. We could maybe even go so far as to translate this as the man is greedy for gold. And that would be fine too. And one more. Inimicum nostri periti proelii sunt. So here, periti means experienced, and it describes inimici, which is the nominative in the sentence. Proelii is a genitive form of the neuter noun proelium, meaning battle. I said before that you can usually add an apostrophe s or of to translate just about any genitive, but that won't really make sense here, so we need to find something else that will sound right. And the best way to translate this one, in my opinion, would be our enemies are experienced in battle. Okay, that's it for the genitive case. There are other uses of the genitive beyond this, but this will help you deal with the overwhelming majority of genitives that you're likely to ever see, so this will definitely be enough for now. Let me know if you have any questions. Wale.